Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join us in the beautiful landscape of Scotland. Today we've come to the Den of Alyth, as the sign says, and we're in the district of Perth in Kinross. So yeah, we've just basically been driving through Alyth. I'm with Highlander 87 today. We were out on a few other adventures and we just noticed this cool old abandoned building next to the road. And I've never actually been down to this area here, which is the Alyth Den. So we thought we'll just pull the car in, we'll have a wee adventure here and we'll go on a wee explore. And once we get to the far end of this location, there's a cool abandoned building, looks like a mill, but there's some, yeah, it's quite a complete looking building. So let's get into action. Check this out folks, you know how it is on this channel, spontaneous adventure after spontaneous adventure. And look at this ancient historical wonder that must have been related to a mill or whatever, maybe even the building we're about to see in today's video. This was maybe an area that they had made as a bit of a sluice for the water. Just check it out, eh? Wow, what an area. I had no idea all this history was abandoned within the wild lands of Alyth. And you can see here the remains of where there's been metal gates or shutters, probably to control the flow of water down to their mill or whatever. And there's so much more been here. Look down there, there's another channel coming out. Wow. So there must be something underneath here, maybe even further up. It could be completely filled. Yeah, what a spot, eh?
Steps down there.
Wow, maybe there was something down there that could operate to let the water go down a secondary channel to like a mill.
Maybe, yeah.
So many years has passed that stuff gets washed out and changed. Yeah, it's interesting. Obviously the water's going through some of the structure now, but whatever its original path was to that area at the other side, it is interesting. And check out this landscape here. It's a proper paradise scene of Scotland and it's unexpected. Sometimes at the weekend we don't even know where we're going, we just go left and right, and before you know it you just find crazy history to be documented. Check this out here folks, it's like more of this has actually gone. See this whole area? So this must have flowed out below and it's like the water's taken it away. Look, there's a brick wall in there. Wow. It is interesting history folks, like what even has been going on here originally. Look, I just spotted another bit over here. All this has been built up and I think it's been washed out because so many years has passed. All this area has been the original end of the cement concrete construction. Anyway, let's keep this adventure moving folks, because we're battling sunset today. Look, there's a big barrel at the other side on a bit of concrete. Wow folks, what a scene of history on today's adventure. I just love it when I see the river flowing over a thing like that. It's almost like a painting. The way the moss and stuff clings onto the rocks with the moist environment down here at the bottom of the hill. Anyway, let's keep it moving. Check this out folks, we're now at the suburban lands here of Alyth, a Scottish village. Or is it a town? It's probably a village I think.
Village.
And this is the Alyth Den down to the far right hand side. The building we're wanting to document is actually up here near the roadside. And that's how we spotted it when we were passing in the car. It is raining today and it's only 3 degrees Celsius, so it's freezing cold. But we're just out here exploring all conditions, all weathers. You know how it is on the channel folks. And I just love going to places like this that I've never been before on the channel, seeing things we've never seen. Look at this folks, there's this magnificent church standing in the lands here of Alyth. And it's an incredible welcome from when you drive in this road here from the Glens. That's the first thing you see here in town or in the village. And this ancient building we're about to look at is actually at the right hand side of the road here. I can also see a proper display of snowdrops out here in the land, and that's the springtime environment that we're dealing with at this time of year. Yeah, here it is folks, look at the character of this. Wow. Look Look at this, folks, it's an old mill. Or some sort of old, like, look, it's an archway!
Yeah.
Wow. Look at that, eh? I need to look in this window. Is there even a way of getting inside it? I need to watch, obviously, I didn't fall over the edge of this drop here that's below me. Wow, look at that, folks. Old mill. Wow, what a scene of history on the channel. It's obviously in poor condition. Look, it's had reinforcements or bolts. And below me is like a cool old arch. Wow, what a scene of history right here, folks. Just look at it. It's the character of history that we love to bring you in. Like, must be 1800s or whatever, or before it. Whoa, there's so much to this place. Roofs and buildings. It's so interesting. And it's always something different. Every video we try to hear like a variation of things. Different things we've never seen. So to the landowner and the building owner here, we come with the greatest of respects. We're literally wanting to just document the old stonework and the construction of the building and just see what's left from a certain time. This stone arch up the back is super cool, but it's so overgrown. It's the sort of place in the summer there would be no way of even having a look. Wow. Check this out, folks. We're going up to document this incredible stone arch, which was the access way into the mill. And I'm just documenting it now because this will be the only chance that I get to come and see such a cool place. Look at the way it's built here. Imagine the horse and carts maybe coming over here or under here. People on foot doing their daily work and routines. And look how it's built on the bedrocks here, which is within the ground. Now look, there's been some sort of entranceway in there, or an opening of some sort. Maybe a ventilation. There's old gas bottles and stuff down here. Wow, what a scene of history, folks, and it's just random. It's like a bedrock seam at the far side. Wow, folks, we're heading down here. I'm keeping my voice low at this point because there is people like on the patio walking past. Yeah, look in here, obviously it's devastated, it's fallen in. That's why we've come just to document what we can today. Yeah, there's metal bits which have been reinforcing the walls and they're all down. Like an old bandsaw blade of some sort. So this could have been an old sawmill. This is maybe the old sawmill at this point here, folks. I think we need to go back out the way we came though, because there's a fence around this side. So we need to go back up under the arch. Check the tree up above our heads. And I'm wanting to document the far side of this place as well. See, there has been ways in here, but I think inside's just so destroyed now from the roof falling down. It's probably had the old stone slab roofs and stuff way back in the day originally. Oh, aye. In the land in a place like this, it's just little historical nuggets. I just love the way it's all built. Yeah, all these roofs have just fallen in as well, which is a sad scene. Imagine at one time people would have been looking out that upstairs window. Oh, look, it has had normal slates on it. Check it out there. That's been what the roof's like. It's obviously just gotten to a certain stage though where it's just fallen in fully. Wow, yeah, this has been mad to see this. The building goes all the way down to the far side. This is another crazy drop right here, folks. And this path takes us right back up the Alyth Den. Look at this scene with the old church and then the abandoned history within it. Yeah, there's other old buildings as well. Obviously we're coming with respect. We're not going to poke about at the more modern private buildings. It's only things like this we want to see before this stonework does fall down fully. Just think of the story of history this would tell. The days and nights this has been a main hustling bustling company and building. Yeah, the doors are still in position away up there. And the roof beams sticking out. The old window lintels. Yeah, that's quite high up there too, so I'm not sure what height the floor was, or there's little windows and big ones. Openings and entrances. Let's keep it moving, folks. We're heading round. I just love adventures where I've never seen the thing before. I'll go a bit further back from the fence so we can actually get a real aspect of what we're seeing. And potentially this was using a source of water from further up the valley, maybe at that dam structure that we saw earlier. See that ridge in the land there? Is that a route of water which has been flowing into this site at one time? Let's uncover all the layers of history, folks. Yeah, when I look at the land, I try and imagine why each part is the way it was, and that's often when it leads you in to finding out the real wee details of the history. Sometimes a place like this would have a lane or a waterway, but it could literally just be the old track or road which came down. But you can clearly see there has been a couple of options, or a couple of pieces of land, and this looks like it's been a yard. But I think there was a lot of timber operations and stuff went on at that sawmill back in the day. Wow, what a scene of history. And that's that piece of land that we were standing in at the other side of this fence. Oh look, this gate's totally open anyway. No way, folks, we could have just literally come out here. Wow, look at this, the way this window is. That's why I've wanted to come and see this. Check it out. Look at these metal bars, the way they're put in. That shows it was the industrial side of things rather than like a house or a building like that. Industrial buildings are more likely to have things like that in the original construction. And then look, there's a metal spike or hook sticking out of the wall. And look how this tree has actually started growing out here. Oh look, I can come through this little window. Wow, the history is unreal. Look at this massive beam, the way it's constructed with the metal bracing. All this will be like 1800's. And then this is like a newer internal wall. Maybe built to give the roof more strength at a certain time. Maybe other bits was added onto this place. But look, you can see repairs on the original wall here. I'm not sure, it's quite overgrown. Wow, it's like a labyrinth of tunnels, and well, no tunnels even, little rooms and little parts of the building. And it says Lochside on these bricks. A lot of the bricks and things were like individually made at different places, and the writing's on them. And often I like reading the names on the bricks to see where they're from. And it's interesting to see ones which say Lochside. Often with these industrial buildings as well, they weren't built with the most perfect of stone, like some of the houses or mansions that we visit. And it's cool to see the way that's such a sheer, smooth cliff. I wonder if some of these stones were chiselled out of there. That's been changed at a certain time for maybe a different purpose as the mill developed. I'm thinking it's a sawmill just because there's a newer sawmill beside it, but it could have really been any sort of mill back in the day. At one time it was law that you had to take your barley and wheat to the mill, the local mill, to get it ground up. So that's why there's a lot of mills for a certain time. And that's a detail of the mill history as well that's almost forgotten. Look at that, there's a pulley sticking out of the ground. I wonder what that's been for. Highlander's saying the stone up here's got a hole in it. See that, what, like potential waterway? It comes in, but I don't think it's ever been anything in here. It's maybe been where the roads come in, there's been a bit of a yard. Ah, is that a bit of concrete? Yeah, it's like a big, it's maybe been a pillar or... And then that's where we looked in a minute, but whoa, tripping over. Look at this fragile stone, folks. One gust of wind and this will all fall down. And that's how I wanted to come and document it when we saw it from the roadside. It's been so cool. And every week we keep bringing you new locations like never seen before on the channel. And it is so cool that we can keep bringing fresh places like that. It just shows how much is all around. Every week it's something we've never seen before. This place looks like it's been changed and developed so much with different layers of bricks and stones. Yeah, I think that's like an old door runner. I can see a Perth and Kinross wheelie bin down there. I've just had to change out the battery today, folks, in that camera. We've been on so many adventures today. Look at this though. This is more stones, which could have been from another potential old building, which is maybe completely bulldozed and gone. And that's what will happen to that one day. The sad little story of the history there will be forgotten. A successful industry, like a big building, booming for years probably. One day, like, civilization just moves on and the building's no longer needed. What we've documented with that is what's left to tell the story of that history. And now we're away to kind of head out. It's a separate route to the way we came into this location. We're going along by the river. See this, folks, we're looking at what we thought was a path leading away from the mill that we just looked at. But the interesting thing is the shape of it here. It comes round to this piece of land and then there's this pipe. And I'm just theorising, like, could it have been some sort of water they were using for a water wheel? Maybe down there at the mill to power whatever mill equipment they had. Look, there's a big pipe leading under there. So what would that even be? There's maybe a pipe under the ground along that ridge. And maybe this area here was flooded by the river. It is interesting history, and I will be able to find out because I've got family connections from this area in Scotland. So maybe if I find out some cool history, we'll have to come back in a future Alyth video and explore some more of the history and then update them about this site. That's sometimes the cool thing with these adventures when they're spontaneous. I find out so much about local history randomly, and it's like from all different time periods that I could never have imagined. So much went on, and it's so cool seeing the buildings and exploring them. The way that stone arches, like the main door into that mill was up at the top story, the top level, and then you would have gone down the stairs into the building, into this Alyth Den area. Look at this, folks. I often say at some of my video locations, it's like a scene out of Lord of the Rings or some of that incredible landscapes that you see. This is all natural right here, and it's the most incredible scene. The way the moss is on all the branches and the ivy drapes down off the red sandstone cliff, and the Alyth burn just flows its way through this incredible landscape. And I had no idea that Alyth had all this hidden away. Such an incredible little corner of Scotland. Right, folks, that's us just about back to the car. It's been a mad wee adventure here in the Shire of Perth and Kinross and at the wee village of Alyth. And we had no idea what we were about to see. It's just one of those crazy moments when we notice a building and we just think, let's go for it. Before it does get bulldozed and destroyed, we have a wee adventure. Explore little details of the history that'll be the first things to get forgotten if it does get demolished. But yeah, that's us back to the car park. So I'm ending it here. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye from me. Goodbye from Highlander 87. We'll see you soon.